My name's Todd Johnson. I'm an engineering physicist at Fermilab. Fermilab is a high energy physics laboratory. We have great big machines here that accelerate particles near the speed of light, and we have experimenters come from all over the world, and they do experiments on the nature of matter like neutrinos and muons and other exotic particles to try to learn how the universe is put together. A particle accelerator is a big machine that takes subatomic particles like electrons or protons and accelerates them up near the speed of light, as close as we can get, and then either smashes them into each other or into another object. And by doing that, we create conditions that are close to what occurred in the Big Bang, and we can create particles and reactions that don't otherwise exist in nature very conveniently. The leading edge discoveries typically don't have an immediate application to society other than the fact that we just understand more about how the universe is put together. Historically, that sort of thing has always led to advances technologically. We had a big machine here called the Tevatron. It was the largest application of superconducting wire in the world at the time. Designing that machine actually allowed industry to commercialize this material, and it allowed the creation of things like MRI machines for hospitals. I am currently working on some big laser projects. Well, a couple years ago, we finished a laser project that cleans up the particle beam and allows us to increase the intensity to our experiments and still lower the amount of radiation the machine produces. I've always been very interested in science. As a kid, I was always fascinated with how things work. My first bicycle, I rode it for about a day, and then I flipped it upside down and turned it into something that allowed me to shoot walnuts across the lawn. But I was very fascinated with electronics. I kind of settled on that because it was cleaner than chemistry. I went ahead and got a degree in electrical engineering, and then ended up coming here. Working with lasers, we have to be very careful about our eyes. If we're running the system with the lid off, we typically do that in a locked laboratory where no one can come in. There are areas around here where there's radiation and radioactive materials, but again, I look at it, I treat it sort of like fire. Yes, you can hurt yourself with it, but if you respect it and understand it, it's not an issue. Working here has impacted my life, I think, in a lot of ways. The sort of sense of teamwork you get working in a place like this on a great big huge project is really very, very valuable. So I think the friends I make here and the things I've learned that would otherwise have been very difficult to absorb. There's things you just don't normally see in everyday life or in industry. You don't normally on a day-to-day basis have to worry about relativity, let's say. But here you sort of do.